Hello everybody, it is I, Super Paul Games, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney. So we have the lawman on the stand. We're about to get to cross-examine him to see if what he says is true about our client having bloody paws at the scene of the crime. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this.
You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon.
Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Well, we don't have any evidence so far that she would have had bloody paws. What about the photograph? Oh. That may be relevant. How do I get rid of this? Select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. I hope he didn't make that up. Well, actually, I do. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Man, I hope I'm not terrible at this. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Why not? I got nothing better to do. Select a statement to question. Well, the bloody paws is the one I could think of. Let's see. We were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid. She was there at the scene of the crime. We found Dame Cataline. She was standing over the sliced open corpse with blood on her paws. Well, we know the corpse was sliced open, so let's ask about the blood on her paws. Inspector, you say Dame Cataline had blood on her paws?
Correct. Our blood clung to the fur like guilt to a convict.
How much blood was there? How much blood was there on the lady's paws, Inspector?
Enough for it to be cleared. She dirty.
Cleared? Clear? Words and me don't get along.
Enough for it to be clear that she had dirtied her hands on the victim's body.
Oh.
We noticed the blood under the suspect's nails, around her fingertips, and even a little around her mouth.
She ate him? Her mouth? Oh, how vile! The inspector's answer seems pretty definitive. Yes, we have another question about the blood. Whose blood was it? Whose blood was it exactly?
Ho ho! What a question! It was Monsieur Greenwee's, of course.
How can you be so sure? I object! The line of questioning is absurd! There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon! The blood on Dame Caroline's paws can only have belonged to one person, Monsieur Greenwee! Judge! Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions!
I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Greenwee?
Oh, let me look at my evidence. I don't, really. No. Nope. Because I want it to be that way? I don't. I do not, your hoe. Wait, Falcon, you're on to something. I am? Yes, I can sense it. Look through your evidence. There may be something that can give you a clue. Okay. I'm not sure where this is going, but I'll try anyway. Possibly the photograph, but I would think that was taken before the murder. I don't think after your friend is murdered, y'all pose.
Alright, let's try again. Monsieur Falcon, do you have a reason to suspect the blood on the Dame Cataline's paws did not belong to Monsieur Greenwee?
Yeah, I do. I do, Your Honor. There we go. That's the answer. Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak at the banquet. That would make sense. Because they didn't have any silverware there, because the maid had stolen it. So they all had to eat their food with their hands. Do I double click on it? I want to use that as evidence. That's my evidence. How do I activate it? Evidence activate. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicious. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Caroline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. It's a different kind of murder. It was a cow murder. This is foolish. You're wasting time, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Caroline's paws didn't come from the victim, where did the blood come from? The steak. On the evening of the murder, Dame Caroline ate a bloody rare steak. Suck on that.
Is this true, Monsieur Rabbiton?
Well, yeah, in a manner of speaking, yeah, I guess. I mean, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then the inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak?
Well.
Oh, wait, don't answer that, Inspector! You're coaching the witness!
It's a possibility.
No, my case!
Intriguing.
Pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. So, Inspector Valerty, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander for simply being a messy eater? Now, hold on 1 minute, Falcon. You're overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Caroline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. If you're gonna try and bring up the silverware, I know why there was no silverware. After the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with, like a fork, in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she possibly have gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? That is a good question, or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet, rabbit friend. I am a predator. You are prey. I eat people like you for lunch, literally. But as it happens, something was missing from this particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Caroline to eat with her paws. The silverware was missing because it was stolen by the maid. Dame Caroline was forced to eat the steak with her paws because... Get ready for it. The silverware of the household had been previously stolen. It's a good thing we interviewed someone about that, because that's an amazing coincidence. Stolen? I don't remember that in the police report.
We weren't aware of anything missing from the Baron's residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron approached us about this very subject last night.
Oh.
Innocent, perhaps.
What a twist! You gained a little favor with the jury.
What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, why was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation! Judge, I assure you that I am the most thorough investigative officer of the force!
That doesn't say much for the force, now does it? Then it's amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Burn!
Oh dear.
Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting on your next case?
Disappointment. Fine, so be it, messieurs, until next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, Monsieur Robitio Rabanino, the, photographer who attended the banquet, the night of the murder.
I hope he doesn't bring up the fact that we broke into his place and lied about it. Oh, crap. Monsieur Robinino, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
Wait, was it? How's it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me, bird Jesus. It's a little cliche, to be perfectly honest. I'd rather have a new original oath.
Could the witness please introduce himself from the court, please?
As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me.
Who are you?
I am the great Monsieur Robitio Rabanino, cutting-edge photographer, and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their essence. Je suis l'artiste. Just tu es un pipe. Don't smoke me. You may have seen my works in hit magazines, La Blanche, Say Choulette. If you oh, I can send you tweets if you like.
What on earth is a tweet? Bird to bird communication! Come on, Falcon! It's the 19th century! Get with the times! Oh, yeah. Your works are very, impressive, Monsieur Robininho. But let's get down to business.
That's what he says to his bunny wife. That's why they have a million bunny kids.
Could you, tell us your activities, what they were on the night of the murder?
Very well. I was hired by Baron Roguillol to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7:30. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastique photograph. I billed Baron and left.
Like a true artist. In regards to the photograph itself, who'd you photograph?
I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so you could all see for yourselves.
We have our own copy, mind you.
Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look.
What? What? That is not like the one we have. Look at who's in the middle. That is not... That is the Baron. We have the other picture. I don't know if we can click on it, but it shows Caroline in there. Between her dad and between the creepy Steely maid. And look, there are hands on the clock. So he did. The Baron must have set this up, put hands on the clock that never has hands on it, to try and give himself an alibi. He murdered his business partner. We were right.
Oh, my word. That's an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see who do we have here? In the middle, we see the Baron, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Signor Pertoy, Damiao, the father of the defendant, Dame Caroline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Colleen Duhat Miche, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited.
She probably was trying to steal the camera. She's a total thief.
As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille.
That means it's a good thing we broke into this guy's house, not the rabbits, but the photographer, because he must be an accomplice to the crime.
The second is the defendant, Dame Caroline Damiao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree?
Just a moment, Monsieur Rabbiton. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. This doesn't mean they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. Oh.
The prosecution may continue? Falcon, really?
Like, if you look behind the photograph subjects, we see, like, a wall clock with the time set of, 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector of Lurty told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. You see, Falcon? I made a case, see? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save, for Dame Caroline herself.
Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different to the one we, borrowed from Robinio's studio. I see it too. Our photograph shows, Colleen Duhat Miche, Dame Caroline, and Signor Pertoy, together.
And there's no hands on the clock.
But Monsieur Robininho's photograph shows the Baron where Dame Caroline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph is taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way.
You should just slam that evidence down like BAM! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom's out of order! Case closed!
That's what I wanted to do.
I cannot do that.
Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words, Falcon.
No, I mean I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained.
Uh-oh.
If I were to present it, Monsieur Robinio would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail.
Oh, we can't, put stolen evidence in. Oh, crap. I hope we didn't fuck things up.
In a worst-case scenario, I could lose my legal license, and we'd be arrested for theft. I don't want to go to jail.
Oh, well, yeah, we don't want that.
No, we don't. I should tread lightly.
Well, we have the other evidence, in that we know that the, oh man, I wonder if there's a better way to get that evidence. I'm glad we have the evidence, though, because we know now that it was almost for sure what I thought originally, that the Baron did it, and then what I didn't realize is that the photographer is probably an accomplice, not accomplishment.
Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are like rock-solid evidence. Cross-examination. Alright, so we can... Let's see, we can question his 7 p.m. We can question his camera. We can question the photograph, or that he billed the Baron and left. I think the photograph is where we gotta go.
Let's take a closer look at that photograph, must we? I think we must.
I would like to ask why it's black and white, but I don't think that works. We gotta say there's a mistake in the photograph.
Just to clarify, Monsieur Robinio, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not?
That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies.
That is most curious, because, I seem to see a mistake.
A mistake? Impossible! I told you, Monsieur, the camera is perfect, unbiased device. If the photographs it produces are flawless.
Falcon, I don't see any mistakes. Perhaps you could be, like, a little more specific?
Certainly.
It's this area. This is the area with the mistake. Because, obviously, this is a mistake, and we know it, but if we point out that, we're going to jail, because we stole stuff. So we'll show up the clock face.
The clock in this photograph, there is something not right about it.
Well, that's not... well, wait, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client. Convenient.
Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture.
The clock in Baron Rogiel's lounge has no hands.
The photograph? Words are tough. The photograph clearly shows the clock hands pointing at 7 and 6.
That much is like self-evident.
Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge at the Chateau Crenier has no hands.
What? It has no hands?
The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask the Baron or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Robinio, how do you explain this discrepancy?
Oh, he's sweating. We got him.
I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. The camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world, like Sparrowson's love life.
What? What do you say about me?
Not now, Sparrowson.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process.
That would put a clock hands on, I think not, in the wrong character.
An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, do not patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinio, have edited this photograph.
Edited? Oh.
I am no expert, but I suspect they used paint or ink to carefully put hands on the clock. Don't you put no hands on my clock, huh? It would have been a simple task considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph to just simplify the editing process.
Break, you bastard. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Because he's an accomplice of the murder.
Is it not obvious?
Either that or he's the murderer and he needs his own alibi, but I doubt that, because otherwise he wouldn't have changed the picture with the Baron.
By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all of the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Robinio created the perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinio coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough! Silence! Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Robinio!
Fine, you got me. I'm guilty. I did it. I did it all.
You did what? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille?
What? No. No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I am just admitting I am guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included hands to the clock.
You were ordered by whom?
I dare not say.
Monsieur Robinio, I strongly advise you to answer the question's defense. The defense's questions. You are pledged to speak without fear, after all. But Jesus is watching you now. He will condemn your soul to the flames of hell if you do not answer truthfully.
With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names.
His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon?
That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robinio, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, we cannot keep you on the witness stand any longer. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course.
I can't protest. It's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist.
What? Robinio, where is your moral compass? It's not because you failed as an artist. You're like, I deserve to be held guilty because I wasn't a good enough forger?
Good day, messieurs.
Intriguing. Pretty convincing.
We gained some more jury favor. So like the clock's hands were painted on? So what? It doesn't matter. It does matter, Remington. It does. The photograph still depicts Dame Caroline as absent close to the time of murder. That's significant.
Don't be dense, Monsieur Remington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, it cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? I mean, like, it could. It's still a portrayal of the night's events, maybe, yeah?
Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility, good sir, that other parts were too. I swear, your mother dropped you on your head repeatedly. You do look delicious, though. I do love a good rabbit. It is possible that Dame Caroline was painted out, or even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Pertois de Miao, perhaps?
Why not the Baron? The Baron is the obvious choice. Why would you... Rabington?
I don't think so. The housemaid lacks means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Signor Pertois to implicate his own daughter.
Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron, ow, that hurt myself doing that. I did. Oh, I felt that weight out of my vocal cords. Deliberately tried to frame Dame Caroline, because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. I mean, it's crazy. He wouldn't do that. The Baron's the pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Monsieur Remington, I am not here to throw accusations. Maybe lob them or drop kick them. That's the job of you, though, the prosecutor. However...
that should be the Baron. I hear his voice, so I don't see him.
Perhaps I should offer my opinion.
But Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
What incompetence? What's that mean?
Indeed. Let us proceed with the witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge?
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I hate to end it on the cliffhanger, but I'm running a little long. This is the cliffhanger. Next time, I'm guessing it'll be the end of the trial, in which we take on the Baron, who I am pretty dang sure murdered his business partner, Monsieur Grenouille. Until then, my, friends, I bid you adieu.